So, if I were talking to someone about being introduced into the tarot world, I would first of all tell them to not binge tarot videos when you become interested, because you can wander into experiences that feel a lot like a bad trip, psychosis, and or just straight up delusion. And that comes in because some readers, let me start with this. Every reader is a person, and all people have personalities. And every personality has an energetic stamp. Literally, your energy itself has a signature. And that energetic stamp, that energetic signature, rubs off on people different ways. The thing is, some readers have such a potent energetic energetic stamp that they may predict or validate messages that you have always subconsciously felt, maybe even never acknowledged because they were so subconscious. The feelings have been so subconscious and tucked away that we actually convince ourselves that those thoughts never existed. But then there's a reader in front of you reflecting that back to you. That's where the psychosis and the delusion can come in, because they're validating things that you've never even had the vocabulary or the words to say. That's so validating. And that validation is like a high. It feels like having the best things of the world, literally the world. Like it's having all the power, all the money, all the resources at your fingertips when you have that feeling of validation. And that's why I say that it's really important to be eased into the tarot world, because it reveals to you that there's so much more to life. And I don't believe that so much more to life is demonic, actually. It's everything is of God, I personally believe. And I believe that that belief is why I'm so protected in this walk as well. Because no matter the religion that someone may practice or the beliefs that someone may have, it actually has nothing to do with tarot itself. Your own spiritual practices and how you choose to keep yourself and cleanse yourself is independent to you. Readings don't necessarily have to refer to anything in the religious or beliefs factor other than personal beliefs. Which is why people like myself, although I pray to Jesus Christ, I can easily accept that that's not the only religion worldwide, that's not the only belief system that works. So when I refer to God, angels, ancestors, I know that we are all referring to the one God power that runs all this shiz. Yes, even the deepest pits of hell, God reigns over everything, whether that God be your angels, ancestors, whomever you refer to them as, your highest self. Even if you don't believe in a higher power, there's always a hierarchy, and you don't have to believe that for it to be true. Okay, so that was a little side quest message there. But yes, if you are getting into the tarot world, you want to be practical and let these messages come to you, let them find you. I know for me personally, I had a question. I just had a question. I just went typing it everywhere on the internet because I needed some sort of answers. And this question somehow landed me on the YouTube Explore page with tarot readings. And lo and behold, the veil broke down, and that's how I was introduced into this world. And that's how I know that the feeling of a bad trip, psychosis, or delusion is evident, because I didn't have anyone to initiate me. I had to go through all of this on my own. God pulled me through, though, okay, because here we are. When I say that I think the best introduction to tarot is through practicality, I mean not looking for a fortune telling reading. I remember the question that I was typing, scouring the internet, was about the amount of people that saw, felt, or predicted their future partner or their future spouse, their future goal, their future job. My question was, is that a thing? I was at this place in life where I was really spiritually sitting down and praying and in my word and in these things. And I was very curious to know if these visions, these dreams that I was experiencing, these supernatural things that I was experiencing, I wanted to know, am I the only one? This is before I even knew tarot was a thing. That's how I was scouring the internet and tried to understand if there were people out there in the world that genuinely felt like they predicted, not predicted, but they just knew before it actually happened. Okay. So, practical uses of tarot would look like not looking for fortune telling. In that instance, I was not looking for my future spouse in a reading. I was looking for a confirmation that it was possible. Like, has anyone ever experienced God in this way? That's what I was scouring for. Practical use of tarot is potentially asking that question to the tarot about your supernatural experiences and what this moment in your life or this chapter in your life is trying to explain to you. Or if you feel as though you have blockages in your life, blockages in your world, and you want to know why that might be. That's a great practical question to ask the tarot. Again, not to be future focused in fortune telling, but to use tarot as more of a tool to break through psychological walls that are keeping you stuck in the same place and repeating the same cycles. That's why I can never, ever, ever believe that tarot is demonic. I think that it's propaganda, because if people actually utilized it for what it's for, not fortune telling for the future, but for psychological breakthroughs, the world would quite literally crumble as we see now, and it would be completely aligned with God's kingdom, God's plan for the world, where no one would have to suffer. Because that world is possible. And they know that that world is possible. They don't want it to be possible because, again, I was just talking about all the things of the world, the power, the money, the resources, the hierarchy. They want to be at the top of it. They don't want God to be at the top of it. They don't want the highest power or the creator or the reason for us being here to be at the top of the hierarchy. So they maintain their own hierarchy. And that hierarchy is maintained through fear, control, and manipulation. I believe that the propaganda placed on tarot is fear, control, and manipulation to keep you from breaking through psychological walls that could literally change your life. And if you change your life, that means that you're starting with the man in the mirror. And that's how you what? Change the world. I felt this on my heart to share it. I hope it finds who it needs to. Love.